Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Caden Cleveland here with the Oklahoma Senate. You're joining us for episode number 3 of OK Senate Sit Down. This week, who we have as our guest is Senator Paul Rosino. Now, Senator, one of the biggest things that you've been working on lately is the aerospace industry, correct?
That's correct.
Awesome. So that's one of the things we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be updating everybody on what's going on, all the advancement that's been happening in Oklahoma. It's some really exciting stuff. So hope you guys can stick around, and we'll be right back. Hey, welcome back, guys. As I said before, it's Senator Paul Rosino is our guest this week on OK Senate Sit Down. Now, Senator, one of the things you've been working on quite a bit is our aerospace industry here in Oklahoma. Is that something that has been dear to you before you were in the Senate, or you kind of tell us a little bit of background on that?
Yeah, aerospace is really in my heart. I was in the Navy for 25 years, and what I did in the Navy was aircraft maintenance.
Right.
And then for my last 10 or 15 years, I was a naval air crewman. And then the most important job I ever had was I was in charge of all the Navy maintenance out at Stratcom Wing 1 at Tinker Air Force Base, taking care of 16 airplanes for unscheduled maintenance, scheduled maintenance, depot repairs, MRO work, engine repair, flight controls, all the things that matter to keep them safe and flying.
So it sounds like you know what you're talking about when it comes to aerospace and airplanes and different things like that.
I have a pretty good understanding. Yeah, I don't know how to fly them, but I know how to fix them.
There you go, exactly. So getting into the industry aspect of it. Well, first, before we get there, you're still relatively pretty new to the Senate, correct?
I am. Okay. Yeah, just finishing up my first year.
Awesome. So moving into the second year, is this going to be one of your main focuses? Was the aerospace, or?
It is, and actually, Kate, when I was knocking doors, one of the things I talked about was aerospace industry, because it's, which many people don't know, it's Oklahoma's second largest economic driver, pushing about $45 billion a year, second to oil and gas. And
really?
So I think we need to keep pressing that, and I think that the aerospace industry in Oklahoma is growing faster than we can keep up. And so there's significant things happening in our aerospace industry here in the state, and we need to focus on it and take it to the next level.
Wow. Okay. So specifically speaking, when we talk about the advancements in the industry of aerospace, is there anything that's happened in the past few months or looking ahead that's going to happen that we can look forward to?
There are lots of things happening.
Okay.
Recently, there has been 2 drone companies that decided Oklahoma is a place they want to be. And we're talking about high wage earning jobs. One company in particular is bringing 350 employees. They're going to hire right here in Oklahoma and bring them here. There was, by the airport, we just opened up a maintenance facility that's looking for probably 300 to 500 people. And one of the things I found, I visited several aerospace companies, and it's been a big focus of mine because, again, high-paying jobs.
Yep.
It's the future of our state. We have one of the largest MROs for commercial airlines in Tulsa that employs thousands of people. And we have the largest MRO in the country and possibly the world with Tinker Air Force Base. And so we need to take what we're given and then expand on that. And so when I visited with these aerospace companies, they love Oklahoma. They love what we're doing for them. But there's some issues too that we have to try to work, and those are the things I'm trying to learn and figure out.
So that's where you kind of come in.
Yes,
it's almost like we have a natural asset here in Oklahoma to be able to almost house aerospace companies very well here in Oklahoma, and now we have to fit the laws and the legislation to make that the biggest asset that we can make it. Is that correct?
Yes, and one of the things that we did really well in this state is we passed what we call the Aerospace Engineer Tax Credit.
Okay.
And I know some people are not real big fans of tax credits. This one in particular has worked fantastic. I think the last number I saw, for every $1 the state of Oklahoma is paying, we're getting 8 in return.
Really?
Which is that's fundamentally the way it's supposed to work. And so those are the kind of things that can help Oklahoma and bring us up.
That's
so,
right.
But there's lots of other things we need to be doing.
Right, and you mentioned the tax credits and the benefits that the state has been able to see from that. Are there other incentives that perhaps we're looking at offering or anything like that? I mean, not to get too in-depth.
No, there are some already. And Kate, to be honest, some of the things that I found, especially visiting some of the smaller aerospace companies, being honest, we haven't done a good job letting them know. And there are some things out there, especially for MRO. And when I use that term MRO, for people who don't know what that means, that's maintenance, repair, and overhaul.
Okay.
And we are a huge MRO state. That's basically what we are. And so these smaller companies that are trying to compete with maybe other states even, there's some things out there for them that we have not done a good job of explaining. And they've been there for years.
Really?
And so I'm working with the Department of Commerce and the Aeronautics Commission to try to get the word out so these companies know. And it gives them an advantage against some others.
Well, that's awesome. So a lot of the tools or a lot of the pieces to the puzzle may already exist in there. It's just letting the companies know that they are presently there.
Yes, and some of the smaller companies, they're working hard. They might only have 30 employees, and the owner of the company might be one of the employees on the floor working.
Right.
Well, they don't have time to know a lot of this stuff, and so that's where we, as a state, we have to do better in telling them, hey, you get to have this. This is something that we do because we want to keep you here. We want you to grow. We want you to be better.
Gotcha. Okay. So moving into session, as we move into everything's about to get pretty crazy around here at the Capitol. Is there any other things other than aerospace that you're looking at maybe focusing on moving in?
Yeah, there's some education pieces that I'm going to work on, and then there's also some medical stuff that I want to do. For many of you who don't know, I have an autistic grandson, and so there's some things that I want to look at there. And there's some breast cancer issues that really concern me, losing a family member very young, just 2 years ago. So there's some different things I'm looking at, but at this time, just not willing to talk about it because I don't have all the information yet.
Absolutely. We make sure everything's put into place. Yeah. That's interesting. You talk about personal experiences affecting, the legislation you run. It's amazing how that happens quite a bit up here.
Well, and I think people in some cases don't understand how hard some people really work here.
Yes.
And for the most part, it's a very caring building.
Yes. And
we've just had a tough stretch, and being part of now maybe the chance to see us move in a different direction, I'm very excited about that.
That's something in every single one of these OK Senate sit down videos that we've done. The common theme with each one has been a feeling of optimism moving into this session. And one of the analogies I used with Senator Bice was, it feels like we're moving into session, not pushing a boulder up a mountain this time, but it's almost like on an even playing field. So.
And that's exciting because we get a chance now to maybe do some things where before we were trying to patch holes everywhere.
Yeah.
And maybe now we don't have to patch holes. Maybe now we can do some things that can be exciting and move the state forward, and people can get behind, and our citizens can be proud.
That's awesome. Well, Senator, thank you so much for joining us this week. We're about out of time, but before we sign off, do you have any final thoughts?
No, I would just like to say for many of you, happy Thanksgiving. I think we're going to be pretty close to that, and enjoy your turkey. But if you're going to fry it, be careful. Make sure your safety first.
Words of wisdom, maybe from experience? I don't know.
A little bit.
Maybe a little bit from experience. But Senator, thank you so much for joining us this week. It's been a pleasure. And guys, thank you for watching. I hope you've been able to learn a little bit about all the things that Senator Rosino has been able to implement and help with our Oklahoma, specifically with aerospace industry, and just boosting our economy here in Oklahoma. We're seeing a lot of job creations, a lot of economic growth because of this industry. So thank you very much for all your hard work.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us, and I guess we'll see you next week. Bye.